China is truly a vast and fascinating country. 9,600,000 square kilometers of land, 3 million square kilometers of seas, and it's never still changing with the rotation of the seasons. To fly like a bird is to see things that are beyond your imagination. You visit places you would never before have dreamed of. And even familiar places, when you look down on them from on high, will assume a completely different appearance. We'll take you to explore places close at hand and far away. To witness nature and geography, humanity and history. This 50-minute air journey will bring you the amazing experience you've never had before. From now on, join us as we embark on a unique journey across the sky.
Beijing, China's capital, is located in the north of the North China Plain, bordering Tianjin and adjoining Hebei province. Beijing is surrounded by mountains on 3 sides, with terrain that slopes from the northwest to the southeast. Our journey begins at Tiananmen, where 2 axes, one horizontal and one vertical, intersect to form the heart of Beijing, the core of the capital, and the political center of the nation. In Beijing, what is the premier landmark? The answer is unanimous among all. Tiananmen. On October 1st, 1949, the solemn proclamation of the founding of New China was resoundingly declared right here. Since then, Tiananmen has come to represent the image of the capital of New China and has been incorporated into China's national emblem. Situated in the heart of Beijing, its solemn architecture positions Beijing as the political epicenter of the whole country, standing grandiosely under the world's spotlight. With every significant national celebration and memorial event, its presence is essential. When the crowds gather on this square that can accommodate nearly 1 million people, all looking towards Tiananmen together, every proclamation made resonates repeatedly in the hearts of the people. Every ounce of dedication, cheer, and expectation to the nation rides the beat of the red hot, reaching every corner of the country. The square in front of Tiananmen, measuring 880 meters from north to south and 500 meters from east to west, is the largest public square in any city center in the world today. At the heart of Tiananmen Square stands the monument to the people's heroes. Its solemn vigil reminds us that every bit of prosperity and hope is born of sacrifices and heroic struggles in the past. To the south of the monument lies a memorial for the founder of the People's Republic of China, the Chairman Mao Memorial Hall. The architectural layout of today's Tiananmen Square was shaped by a plan conceived in 1958, integrating traditional Chinese urban design. To the east of the square is the National Museum of China representing our ancestors, while to the west is the Great Hall of the People tied to state affairs. The principle of ancestral temple on the left, state altars on the right, derives from our cultural traditions of thousands of years. Centered around Tiananmen, the vertical and horizontal axes of the city are extended respectively. Starting from Yongdingmen in the south to the Bell and Drum Towers in the north is the north-south central axis that spans approximately 7.8 kilometers, showing the history of the ancient capital. The east-west Chang'an Avenue and its extension is Beijing's other axis. It charts the significant strides made by New China along its journey. With Tiananmen at its core, structured by the intersecting horizontal and vertical axes, Beijing, as China's political heart, is home to the central leadership of the party, government, and military, as well as the venue for major national affairs and diplomatic activities. Chang'an Avenue carries the auspicious meaning of lasting peace and stability. Originally less than 3 kilometers in length, after the founding of New China, it has been continuously widened and extended. Today, Chang'an Avenue and its extension span over 60 kilometers in length. Jianguomen and Fuxingmen are its two most significant markers. From nation construction to rejuvenation, people have imbued this road with the finest wishes. Chang'an Avenue is also the widest street in Beijing, reaching about 120 meters at its broadest point, with 16 lanes running in both directions. Traveling straight down such an avenue, those passing through sense the city's openness and in turn carry themselves with poise. It traverses 7 administrative districts of Beijing, not only connecting the central urban area with the city's subcenter, but also tightly linking all the key government departments that are crucial for China's administration. Whether in policymaking or economic planning, national security or cultural propaganda, nearly all matters of state are distributed through the artery from the heart to the whole country. Every move Beijing makes and every word it speaks set a strong example for all of China. As a political center, Beijing's significance extends far beyond the past few decades. It is rooted in a long history. Both the Ming and Qing dynasties established their capitals here, and 24 emperors reigned from here. The historical central axis was designed to highlight the core status of the emperor's power. Thus, this axis also passed through the Dragon Throne within the Forbidden City. Such design is the conventional wisdom of maintaining stability in a great power. Within the South Second Ring Road of modern Beijing, the central axis is even more prominent. Yongdingmen marks the southernmost point of the central axis and served as the southern limit in history. These roads paved with white marble start at Yongdingmen. At the north end of the central axis is the bell and drum towers that govern time. The bell rang in the morning and the drum struck in the evening. The work and life of officials and commoners were based on their time service. The past and present of a political hub form the very skeleton that holds up the city. The two axes centered on Tiananmen define the city's contour and the direction of most roads. Beijing, the capital, is foremost a city of politics. Emerging from its historical journey, it carries both its rebirth, a blend of ancient and modern. Owing to its political significance, the city's culture is deeply enshrined in the fabric of Chinese civilization. Embarking on a cultural expedition, one can gaze at the ancient city structure through Tiananmen and seek its past and present at the Palace Museum. The National Center for the Performing Arts shines in the night, and a visit to the 3 hills and 5 gardens reveals the garden culture of the ancient capital. Each spring, common swifts come here to nest. So maintenance of Tiananmen will avoid the months from April to July, the bird's breeding season. To the south of Tiananmen is an archery tower. During the Ming and Qing dynasties, the tower and the wall were connected, with a barbican enclosed between 2 towers, forming an ancient defensive architectural system. Today, Tiananmen no longer needs to fulfill its defensive duties. The 0 point of highways, China is now positioned here, acting as a symbolic starting point for the country's highway network. Continuing south along the central axis leads to the outer city of the ancient capital. In 1992, along the outermost gates of Beijing, the complete second ring road was built. Not only is it China's first fully enclosed and fully interchanged expressway loop without traffic lights, but it also distinctly outlines the approximately 60 square kilometers of old Beijing's inner and outer city. The entire ancient capital's most central location is the renowned Forbidden City, situated right at the heart of the central axis. Nowadays, it is more commonly referred to as the Palace Museum, or the Forbidden City. The Forbidden City is the world's largest and best preserved wooden palace complex. It is also a living antique of imperial culture. These buildings, seemingly not much different in height, are in fact rigorously aligned according to the hierarchical order of traditional Chinese rites. The Hall of Supreme Harmony, the Hall of Central Harmony, and the Hall of Preserving Harmony, symbolizing the majestic imperial authority, were raised upon platforms above the ground. All 3 halls have harmony in their names. At the absolute center of ancient dynasties, we can still sense the country's top-down reverence for the Confucian value of harmony. The Forbidden City of today is more approachable than ever. Even a cat or a snowfall can capture a lot of attention. Traditional culture can be revitalized through creativity. The architecture of the ancient city was never too tall. So, in today's urban planning, strict controls are placed on the scale and height of buildings around the Forbidden City and in key areas, keeping the old city's skyline gently vast and open. At the beginning of this century, the National Center for the Performing Arts began its construction. Located in the heart of the ancient capital, it's about 1 kilometer away from the Forbidden City in a straight line. After completion, it features an avant-garde design, with its exterior composed of ultra-lightweight titanium metal plates and transparent glass. The addition of this modern building allows traditional culture and modern civilization to shine upon each other. Meanwhile, the building presents a gentle posture and continues maintaining the area's expansive tranquility. Beijing doesn't just showcase Chinese culture to the world. It has the grace to place the world's finest modern cultures beside the central axis of this ancient city. The central axis is the most significant cultural thread, also because it is next to the world's largest complex dedicated to heaven worship, the Temple of Heaven. Seen from above, the philosophy of heaven is round and earth is square is visually manifested in the two most significant structures in the north and the south. The Hall of Prayer for Good Harvests is for praying for the grains, and the circular mound altar is for offering sacrifices to heaven. The agrarian dynasty's awe of heaven and earth is solemnly enshrined within these structures. In the eyes of the Chinese, a roofless space is closer to heaven. Today, people can partake in an unmissable cultural experience by standing at the central point of the circular mound when they visit this place of heaven worship. Emperors of the Qing dynasty, influenced by nomadic culture, sought much desired natural scenery outside their palatial residences, beyond the life of prolonged palace dwelling. Beijing's huge mountains are not close to the ancient city, chiefly concentrated to the northwest. Through deliberate design, 3 hills and 5 gardens became the backyards of the imperial city. This grants Beijing both the boldness of the north and the delicate elegance of the southern water towns, complementing the Forbidden City's austere grandeur in spirit. Among them, the Summer Palace even took inspiration from Hangzhou's West Lake in its design, imitating various renowned Chinese landscapes to recreate the essence of the South. Not far from the Summer Palace lies another Qing dynasty royal garden, which once suffered great misfortune. These ruins were originally part of an Oriental marvel. In 1860, it was tragically looted and burned by the Anglo-French Allied forces. The old summer palace combined the essence of traditional Chinese architectural art with Western architectural techniques, once known as the Garden of Gardens. Today, the old summer palace holds a place in people's hearts, not just as a garden, but as a cultural legacy whose past tribulations warrant global reflection and remembrance. Most of the 3 hills and 5 gardens are now public parks, allowing Beijing's historical culture to harmoniously coexist with its natural ecology forever. Subsequently, world-class universities emerged around them, further showcasing the city's cultural heritage and its progression from ancient to modern times. And a cultural representation to the world. Embarking on a journey of international exchange, numerous sports venues have witnessed Beijing's rise as the first dual Olympic city. Boasting abundant tourist attractions, it draws guests from all corners of the globe. In Beijing, we befriend the world and openly welcome distant friends to stay. Beijing not only belongs to China, but also belongs to the world. In 2008, the phrase "Beijing welcomes you" invited athletes from all over the world and also turned the gaze of the entire world towards Beijing, China. Such grand appearances have happened more than once. The Olympics are no longer just a grand sports event, but also a great occasion for international exchange. The slogan, "Together for a Shared Future," didn't just mark the beginning and end of a single Winter Olympics. It will also become Beijing's warm call to the enthusiastic people across the world. It showcases an increasingly powerful and confident China, marching forward in step with the world. The profound and enduring Chinese civilization is the root of confidence. The traces left by history and the pulse of civilization allow every foreign visitor who comes here to see a world unlike any other. In the city of Beijing, whether deep within the bustling downtown or beyond in the outlying countryside, both are worth a patient visit and a close appreciation. History and the present, nature and culture, domestic and international, it can be said that all aspects of China are condensed within Beijing's more than 200 attractions. And it's for this reason that Beijing has become the top choice for many foreign tourists. In addition to welcoming guests from all directions as the capital and an international hub, Beijing is also the core venue for major country diplomacy with Chinese characteristics. Yanqi Lake International Convention and Exhibition Center has been the venue for the award ceremony of the Beijing International Film Festival for 3 consecutive years. Every year during this week, world cinema enters Beijing time. Yanqi Lake has hosted many of China's significant diplomatic events, from the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Economic Leaders Meeting to the Leaders Roundtable of the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. Here, China has provided a platform for countries around the world to communicate and engage. Yanqi Lake, along with Beijing's many convention and exhibition venues, has witnessed the intensification of international exchange and observed China's role as a responsible major power, contributing continuously to global governance with Chinese wisdom, Chinese solutions, and Chinese strength. Cross-border personnel mobility often best reflects a city's capacity for international interaction. In 2019, Dashing International Airport officially opened for service, denoted by its 4F classification. This is the highest level for an airport. Its appearance, reminiscent of a golden phoenix, is its most distinguished symbol. Sunlight filters through over 8,000 panes of glass on the roof, casting a bright aura over Dashing International Airport, China's new gateway to the world. Currently, there are only 2 airports in the world with an annual passenger throughput exceeding 100 million. In the future, the total annual passenger throughput of Dashing International Airport and Beijing Capital International Airport will exceed 250 million passengers. Together, they are shaping the city with dual international hub airports, boosting Beijing's international exchange and ushering in an even broader horizon. Beijing is home to embassies from over 170 countries with a foreign resident population exceeding 300,000 at its peak. Around the embassy zone, there is an international vibe for work and life, making it one of Beijing's most culturally diverse areas. As China's circle of friends continues to grow, the number of foreign embassies and international organizations keeps increasing. The development of diplomacy and the rise in international status allow Beijing to emerge as a global center city with broad and significant international influence. With its accession to the World Trade Organization, China has fully integrated into the international economic system. The Central Business District brings global businesses closer to China with its comprehensive infrastructure, convenient transportation, and a continuously optimized business environment, providing robust support for attracting and retaining talent. As an important window for opening up and international exchange of the capital, this area clusters around 60% of multinational corporations' regional headquarters, 70% of international financial institutions, and 90% of international media institutions in Beijing. The Central Business District illustrates Beijing's vibrant international interactions, concentration of international elements, advanced level of international services, and the city's global reputation. Embarking on a journey of technological innovation, Zhongguancun is the place where pioneers of innovation gather. Numerous universities are cultivating talent for innovation. Autonomous taxis are already on the roads taking orders. Within these unassuming low-rise buildings by the roadside lie many institutes of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, or CAS, representing the highest level of scientific research in China. The name of Chinese Academy of Sciences can be easily associated with China's scientific undertakings. From the 2 bombs and 1 satellite project to China manned space, from the first computer in China to quantum communication, from self-developed penicillin to biological breeding, many renowned scientific achievements have their origins at CAS. Speaking of technological innovation, no one overlooks CAS. Over half of the CAS academicians live in Beijing. Following the top scientists at CAS stretches a vast front of cutting-edge research and development grounds across Beijing. The 3 science cities and 1 high-tech area is the umbrella term for innovation hubs. Though occupying only about 6% of Beijing's land, they contribute to 1/3 of the city's GDP. Zhongguancun Science City leads the 3 science cities as the vanguard. This is where Zhongguancun first began, evolving from the electronics avenue in the last century, constantly transforming and growing. Today, it has expanded across 16 districts in Beijing and is home to a number of innovative industry leaders. Among them, there are nearly 70 enterprises with a valuation of over 7 billion yuan. These companies, with their plethora of exclusive technology patents, also serve as pilots for more than 20 policies related to innovation that have been promulgated nationwide and even globally. By the shores of Yangtze Lake, the Huairu Science City is under construction, gathering an impressive cluster of national key scientific and technological infrastructure and platforms for cutting-edge interdisciplinary research. This scientific facility, like a magnifying glass, is called the high-energy photon source. It can accelerate electrons to produce synchrotron radiation light source with higher brightness, energy, and precision, allowing for a better analysis of microstructures. Everything from aircraft engines to viral proteins can undergo a checkup here. Apart from this, there are many more world-class scientific instruments and facility platforms here, which will provide formidable support for top scientists worldwide. Among the 3 science cities and 1 high-tech area, Zhongguancun is responsible for gathering innovative enterprises. The Huairu Science City takes charge of frontier breakthroughs. The Future Science City focuses on platform building, and the Beijing Economic Technological Development Area is tasked with developing advanced manufacturing, integrating science and technology into everyday life. Autonomous driving represents our close-up imagination of technology's immersion in our lives. In the autonomous driving demonstration area, it's already a reality. Passengers can place an order on their smartphones, and the car will arrive at their side. The technology is still in the testing phase, so someone needs to be present in the driver's or passenger's seat to ensure safety. In the near future, these scenes will become part of the lives of Beijing citizens. Beside the Miyun Reservoir, these seemingly ordinary observation antennas carry out an important task, receiving signals from space. Aerospace technology is an essential domain of scientific progress and innovation. Beijing not only boasts the largest aerospace industry scale in the country, but is also home to numerous aerospace R&D organizations. Many renowned spacecraft were developed and manufactured right here in Beijing. Venturing into space and the moon, everything starts from scratch here. Talent is key to scientific and technological innovation. Peking University is the dream of many students. With the new semester commencing, clubs are recruiting new members. The Mountaineering Association, which summited Mount Komalangma, is demonstrating climbing skills to freshmen. The number of academicians from this university also reached the top. By the end of 2021, Peking University had a total of 119 academicians from both academies, leading among national universities. Work for the motherland for 50 years with a healthy body. This slogan, put forth in the 1950s, became one of Tsinghua University's cultural tenets, and has even been integrated into the commuting methods of campus life. Right now, students are rushing to get good seats for the next class. In the near future, many of them will accelerate onto a faster track, becoming the backbone of China's scientific community. Nearly 100 universities in Beijing provide China with over 200,000 graduates each year. Beijing's stock of high-tech talents is among the highest in the country. With favorable settlement policies, green cards for foreign tech talents, and efforts to attract high-end corporate headquarters, a number of policies are drawing in even more global tech experts to join Beijing and to be a part of China's technological innovation. Meanwhile, as an international tech innovation hub, Beijing is in sync with Shanghai, the Greater Bay Area, and other tech centers as they echo each other, unveiling a futuristic tech innovation landscape. For this journey, we take off from the city's sub-center. A brand new urban functional area is emerging. Heading to Wangjing, office buildings are still ablaze with lights into the night. An artificial lake welcomes waters from the south, while the city opens its gates to welcome everyone. Beijing's urban planning aims to fulfill the capital's functions and also to exemplify a harmonious and livable city. Thus, reducing the density of the central urban area has become a clear objective. This plan is no small endeavor. How to achieve it requires great wisdom. On the east side of the central urban area, the city's sub-center was designed. Behind this move is Beijing's determination to alleviate pressure on the central urban area. The Beijing city sub-center, located in the Tongzhou district, covers an area of about 155 square kilometers. It is two-thirds larger than the combined area of Dongqing and Xiqing districts. Consequently, including the Beijing municipal government, city-level authorities and institutions have collectively joined the initiative to decentralize, relocating from their original central urban positions to offices in the sub-center. Such a demonstration carries significant implications. The dispersal of non-capital functions from Beijing was gradually scheduled. Over the past few years, Beijing has reduced land for construction by 110 square kilometers and relocated more than 2,000 manufacturing firms. Compared to 2021, in 2013, the population density in the central urban area has decreased by 9.5%, along with reductions in commercial, construction, and tourism densities. This ensures the priority of the city's functions as a capital. This ancient pagoda by the canal has stood watch over Beijing for over 1,000 years. In ancient times, when people arrived here along the Beijing-Hangzhou Grand Canal and saw the lights of the Lantern Pagoda, they would know that they were almost in Beijing. Today, this pagoda has also become a symbolic structure of the subcenter, witnessing the new prosperity here. As a brand new urban functional area, the planning and construction of the Beijing city subcenter also fully consider the integration with the natural environment. Sky, water, trees, bridges, and roads. Together, they shape the livability of this area. The layout of the Beijing city subcenter has an even more incredible butterfly effect. The role it plays extends well beyond an area of 155 square kilometers. Residents across the 906 square kilometers of the urban area can also feel the driving force of this urban plan. The pattern that the Beijing city subcenter aims to influence isn't just limited to Beijing. The reason it's close to Tianjin and Hebei is precisely because people are currently rolling out a world-class city cluster centered around the capital. In the process of the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei integration, the integration of transportation leads the way. Efficient transportation systems bring the already close Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei even closer. By the end of 2021, the operational railway mileage in the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region reached 11,000 kilometers. A one-hour traffic circle in Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei, and an adjacent 1.5-hour traffic circle between cities have been essentially established. The Beijing city subcenter, together with the Xiong'an New Area, form the new dual wings of Beijing, propelling a super city cluster towards a leading position within the global urban hierarchy. People toil in Beijing, but they also enjoy the trendiest urban living in the city. Much of the city's night sky is illuminated by lights. The nights in Sanlitun are ignited with passion. Street fashion, cultural chic, and all kinds of entertainment are available here. There are different ways to have fun. For quite some time, the trendiest place in Beijing could be found right in Sanlitun. Today, such a vibe is increasingly prevalent as Beijing is becoming an international consumer center city. Lifestyle consumption isn't limited to offline anymore. Many people today are used to a flick of the finger enabling them to shop at home. Orders placed in the night may be delivered by early morning. You can shop for groceries in the cloud in 3 minutes or order some piping hot takeout late at night in 1 minute. The convenience people experience in their internet lives stems from the efforts of numerous internet organizations. Beijing is one of the prime hubs for internet companies. Every click and transaction in your phone may well pass through here. The digital economy has become a crucial engine for China's economic growth. In the current climate of economic innovation, the trend of digital economic development continues to soar. is also intimately linked to every resident. After measures were taken in 2021, the PM2.5 content in Beijing's air fell by nearly 2/3 in comparison to 2013. Heavily polluted days decreased from 58 days to just 8 days. Looking south from here, you can clearly see the Lizhe business district 15 kilometers away. As long as your point of sight is high enough, you can have a panoramic view of the city. Blue skies, clear waters, and the city not only coexist harmoniously, but also protect each other. The prosperity and the smooth functioning of the megacity benefit from the quiet dedication of countless ordinary individuals. At the stroke of midnight, as traffic thins out, road maintenance crews get to work on the streets. This very night, both the Sehui Bridge area and Fuxing Road are scheduled for road maintenance. The main tasks for tonight are clearing road anomalies and repaving with fresh asphalt. There are nearly 400 roads and over 1,700 bridges in Beijing, and most of the maintenance and management work are carried out at night. While people are still lost in slumber, the city is already gearing up to embrace the new day ahead. High above Beijing, our aircraft meets a fellow traveler. It's from the Beijing Police Aviation Unit executing an aerial patrol mission. Following it, we once again take to the skies to behold the familiar landmarks and the framework and contours of the city. Long ago, the ancients used a symmetrical layout to manage China's mountains and rivers here. Now, a pulsing red heart links together the achievements of a new era and weaves countless dreams into the splendid tapestry of this city's skyline. This is Beijing. Beijing of the Chinese, and Beijing of the world. Bathed in warm sunlight, it opens its gate wide to welcome you